Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or much good depending on your location. Please join in the struggle to liberate our people from the contraption. Like and share videos. Today is Sunday, the 22nd day of September 2024. Happy Sunday. I bring a news update. Nigeria ought to be very careful about the proposed October 1 protest. Ex-British envoy once. Oh yes. Now a former British diplomat and ex-director of the British Council in Nigeria, David Roberts, has cautioned the President Bola Tinubu-led government about the planned protest over the rising cost of living scheduled for October. Now, Roberts expressed concern that foreign interests could be manipulating the organizers behind the demonstrations. Now, the organizers behind the recent End Bad Governance protests, which disrupted economic activities across Nigeria, are gearing up for another round of nationwide demonstrations set to take place in October. Now, from the available information, Roberts highlighted the potential involvement of foreign powers, stating that external interests could exploit Nigerians' genuine grievances to create unrest. He referenced recent comments by U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, who claimed that a media outlet in Africa has supported the August End Bad Governance protest. In his words, quote, in light of the wide use of Russian flags in the last days of rage protests, I'm thinking this new revelation by the U.S. Secretary of State, Nigeria ought to be very careful about the proposed October 1 protest. Nigeria should take more care and alert its citizenry to the truth about such platforms and their agents. End of quote. Now, Roberts continued saying that at a briefing in Washington last week, Blinken accused an African media outlet of working for Russia, contrary to his claim of mainstreaming Africa's interests. Yes. Now he pointed out that during the August protest, there was notable use of Russian flags, which he believes should be a warning sign. He urged the Nigerian government to approach the planned October 1 protest with caution, advising authorities to raise public awareness about foreign platforms and the agents that could be driving these movements. Roberts noted that the August protests in northern Nigeria saw several participants waving Russian flags, underscoring his concerns about foreign involvement. Now, the former British envoy stressed that the government should take proactive measures to prevent any potential unrest linked to the upcoming protest. Oh yes. Now, following the August demonstrations against the rising cost of living, of course, you recall that the federal government alleged that the protests were influenced by external forces and subsequently charged a British national, David Wine, along with 12 Nigerians, with treason. Oh yes, that's what happened, that protest. And now, they are talking about another protest by October, October 1. That's the independence. The day they have their independence, the Union Jack was lowered, and the green, white, green, this miserable green, white, green was hoisted. Anyway, the flag is not the problem. The problem is the people inside it, particularly the leadership. Yes, the leadership is the problem, not the color of the flag anywhere. But it is the symbol of government. Yes. So that is it. And now we are talking about protests, and the British envoy is saying, a former British envoy is saying, be careful, be careful. You have to be proactive, meaning that government should stop it, the protest. You have seen what's happening. Oh yes, they're still continuing doing what they're doing. Yes, they will see things going in a bad way. They will not comment. They will not advise the government, say, look, this thing you are doing is not good. You are suffocating the people. What you are doing is not good. Look at what's happening in Biafra or in the entire Southeast, as the case may be, between the level of genocide. Oh yes, you have seen what the government is doing against people of the Southeast. When Buhari was there, he made several uncomplimentary comments, unpresidential comments about the Biafrans, about the Igbos. Said, oh, you are a dot. Oh, yes. He will send tanks against the Igbos. I will teach you a lesson the way I taught your fathers. You see it? I know the body language. I know the language you hear, and I will send that to you. That's what he said. In all these things, the government, the British, this robot, they kept mute. You have seen the incarceration of IPOB leader? Oh yes, you have seen what's happening. From their own soil, British soil. He left British soil to Kenya. There, he was abducted. He was kidnapped. He never returned to Britain or UK. As a citizen, they kept mute. They didn't say anything up until now. Yes, all entreaties to prevail on them, to come for their own citizen, all fell on deaf ears. These British people. Oh yes, I've seen the disturbances in the southeast owing to the continued incarceration of Mazam Khan. They are mute. They're not saying anything. Their own citizen. You see? So, but they are quick to come and say, oh, be proactive. Stop protesters protesting against your government. They will destabilize it. They are raising Russian flags. This is that. They are afraid that Russia is involved by merely raising their flags in Nigeria. Yes, the Northerners raised Russian flags to come and rescue them from the bad government, from the bad leadership. Not that Russians were involved, no, but the Northerners were raising the flags. And now they're all afraid, they're all jittery. The West, they're afraid, they're jittery. British government, they're afraid, they're jittery. Whereas things will be happening in a bad way. Yes, solid things. The government at the center will be committing genocide. Yes, killing people in many ways with hunger, starvation, owing to their bad policies, evil orchestrated policies. Yes, they will keep quiet. They will not say anything. So now they're saying, don't allow people to protest. Foreign interest is there. They're influencing the protest. They will destabilize your country. What is happening? What is this? The same thing you have been doing since 1960. You said you left the shores of the country and we have given them independence. You have continued up until this day. Oh yes, that is the point. You want the country to be together so that they're going to suffer and suffer and suffer. Anything like, oh, let's, like, separation, or people going their separate ways for better life. Oh no, they will all be up against it. You see, just because of this thing, the flag they raised in northern region, they have sensed danger. They have sensed disintegration. That's why somebody is calling for, the government to be proactive against protesters. You see. So because their own is, let them be there. Let them be together. So you have seen the interest. Now, having known that they don't have your interest at heart, yes, some of these superpowers, particularly the British government, oh yes, they don't have the interest of Nigerians at heart. It's obvious. Going there, the memory lane, you understand that. Okay? And now they support you, being in this forced marriage. They want it, they like it. Now it is obvious. It have come to the reality that look, these people, they are determined to see that the bad governance continued, that Nigeria continued to suffer. Because they will never speak out when things are going bad. They will only speak out when people want to disintegrate, when there is threat to the unity of Nigeria. Yes. Whenever there is threat to unity of Nigeria, they will come out.